Ok, muchachos, pues bueno, ahora me va a tocar hacerle al bilingüe. Y esos jóvenes le corrieron. Estamos acá en la casa Snow Apple, en un venue secreto aquí en la Ciudad de México. Y bueno, ahora tenemos la oportunidad de platicar con una cineasta de origen holandés llamada Luciana. Luciana, welcome. How are you?
Gracias. Yeah.
How you're doing here in Mexico? Tell me.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Did you
Yeah.
like? Did you like Mexico?
Yeah. I was in August in Yucatan for a project. So that was really nice to see that part of Mexico. And now I'm here since October. So now I'm really into the city life. Yeah.
We are a noisy people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This-
noisy. Well, here it is calm, yeah. But how do your expectations about Mexico City is what you think it for like that? I mean,
Um,
did like you Mexico City?
I really like it. I don't really have expectations in general because I don't know. I can have like an imagination of how it should be or how it is, but
Just adventure.
yeah, I just was really open. I could imagine that it would be really like with a lot of sound and different kinds of sounds. The city, and that's also true. But when you experience it, then it
It's not
becomes
like in the
real.
movies that the people in movies think we are people in hats and in horses, you know, like mariachi and all that stuff. Now you are here on a residence since October, and you're working on new material. You talked to me like of the interview. What's the importance of your vision of Mexico for your art?
I think in general, as an artist, it's really important to go to another place, to get to know yourself in another place, like personally, because that's also how you make films, I think, as a person, as a human. So if you experience yourself new things, then that is also influencing your work. And yeah, it's just really it can be like the sounds from Mexico that's like inspiring, not always inspiring. Sometimes it's really intense because I'm not used to it. Because I live in Amsterdam, but I'm from the village, so I need my rest.
But Amsterdam is so really interesting too. No, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. It's different, but yeah, it's also a city. And yeah, on the other hand, being in another place, everything is new. Everybody is new. Everything is new. The place is new. The people are new. Casa Snow Apple was also new, so you're just going enter the unknown, and I think that's really interesting as an artist that you really have to be open and yeah,
You
surrender.
used to travel from all the world to know you, like you say it, for your movies or for your art. Did you used to do that, or is
Um,
a new adventure? Oh, I mean, you always film on Netherlands, or did you like to go different places?
well, I started. I like to film a lot in Limburg. That's the region in the Netherlands where I'm from. And on the other hand, I made the short film I screen now, Silent Heat, is partly recorded in Sardinia, in the Italian island.
Wow.
And yeah, since I experienced that, for me it's really important to travel, to make movies, to find like a kind of atmosphere or a kind of energy in a land, in a country where you feel, this is what I want to tell, this is the world I want to show, and the new perspective. Yeah, so it's definitely like it's becoming like a bigger part of my practice. But this is the first time, like this year is the first time that I've been out of Europe. So I've been in Europe, like a lot of places, not only for filming, also for holiday, of course, and also for my screenings, like film festivals, or other or performances. But yeah, I definitely like to travel, to get to know culture and traditions, and to meet different people. Yeah, that inspire me for making
Fine.
new work.
What's your kind of movies that you did?
Yeah, so the most of my films are focusing on like a female identity, female perspective. Most of the time, like the central erotic identity. That's something I really like to explore, and always like in a kind of environment with like in a kind of environment of chaos, finding like calmness.
Yourselves.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It's like you try to show the world how the actual women are. I mean, did you want to say that the woman is more than a body or something like that?
Um, yeah, not per se, but what for me really important is in my work is that I like or I work always with like with gender, like how you feel or what's your for example, if you're queer or lesbian or bisexual, that's like a really important part of my movie, but it's not the subject. So for example, I make a lot of movies where is the world, the situation where we're in is already like a queer utopia. So it's a world where everybody is accepted, and it's not like, so it's a utopia. That's the decor, the setting of my movie, but it's not that it is about coming out. It's for me it's important to uh, be part of making a bigger conscious collective where the queertopia or the utopian worlds already exists, and not that it's like we have to reach that. Because I believe when you have all, as artists, you create new work, it's becoming an archive, and I think there needs to be a lot of change in
Yeah.
what there is now, like different kind of perspectives, different kind of people in the image, and that's something I want to it's like for me it's like more futuristic. So I don't want to like show like coming out or problems or conflicts, but I want to show it's already there. Of course there is always like narrative and a character development in the movie, but it's already happening because
Fine.
yeah, because I think that's where we have to go. Also, we have to reach there and not like
Yeah.
showing all the time the problems. And
I want to
it's
ask you.
also important.
Yeah,
It's like,
I know.
yeah.
I want to ask you, how did you view the female gender in 20 years by the actual world scene? You know,
Yeah.
did you see, I don't know, more governance females in the world?
Yeah, well, I think in the Netherlands they are working on it, and they are
We are
also,
near
yeah,
to be commanded by a woman.
yeah,
That was,
yes,
it will be so crazy, you know, because we are so male. Oh, like us,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, it will be a great
I
time.
think there
It
will always
happens.
like, I think there are a lot of things happening in the world, and I think it's always like there was always a contrast. So I think on one hand there are more like, for example, female, and there is more acceptance in different kind of genders. But on the other hand, I think there is also still like a masculine part that is becoming even more masculine. So I think it's gonna be like a really big contrast. But maybe it's also like sometimes you need like this kind of chaos
Yeah.
and everything, and then it can balance out. Because for example, at this point in the Netherlands, you also have often situations where there is, and I think it's really good because they change like the institutional things, where you, for example, if you apply for a movie like funding, you have to fill in like the gender and the diversity of the ethnicity, and I think that's really good. to change, but
It's
it's
open
really like
changes, open times for
yeah,
that kind of
yeah, we really
topics.
need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Something that I see here in this house is that the women are so compenetrated in the feeling of I can help you, let's go, come on,
yeah,
being forced, and I like that. I'll never been before in something place like that, working women together,
yeah,
because sometimes it's so difficult, and
yeah,
here is some good vibes about it,
yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah, I really like it also, but I also realized being here that in Amsterdam and where I live and my like the people where I'm surrounded with, like I am like it feels like really normal to be a woman, um, or it's like how to say that. For example, I do also
You
like
can go
martial.
on the streets by the
Yeah, yeah,
way.
yeah, sure. I do, for example, also mixed martial arts. I do
Oh.
MMA and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as
So
a
take care, boys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But for example, when I go training in gyms, there are also always women. Not a lot, but there are always a few. So it's not that people look at me like, oh wow, there's a woman. But for example, if I go in Italy and then people think like, hey, are you gonna train seriously? Yes. So I feel like there are places where it's changing, and here I really love to be surrounded by women. But on the other hand, it also here is really open for everyone, and I think that's also what I want to tell with my work. It's like I focus on like my new project is going to be like all female film project, but it's like it's it should be like especially for women or people who identify themselves as female, but it should not be like closed for male, because I think then where you get what I, for example, experience in when I take the metro here. I'm really happy that I can take the metro, but I have to be in the women's part
Oh
of the
yeah,
metro,
well,
and
that's for
then
security, because
but that's I
people
think
is
that's the
crazy people
difficult.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's on one hand it's nice because you're protected. On the other hand, it's like putting like a small plaster on a really big wound, because then you get polarization, I think, even more. But yeah, that's something
Yes,
I
a
really
little, yeah.
like.
Well, Mexico is a different place. We are learning how to, uh, how I can say it. We are learning to treat women correctly,
Yeah,
because before it was a mess.
yeah, yeah, it's so difficult. I think there are some like, yeah, for me it's also like really wow, it's so I'm feel like really privileged, like that, because it's like really different in the Netherlands. I mean, there are also situations, but it's different, and yeah.
That's nice. So what we gonna see for, yeah, closing this interview? What we gonna expect, or how can we expect for your next movie?
um, like the
When
movie
gonna
that I will
come?
make when
When?
yeah, I'm in the beginning of the process, so
Oh, fine.
I can't tell too much, but it's going really well, and yeah. So for now here, you can see like Silent Heat I made like 3 years ago, and Arrow of Eros. That's like an ongoing movie, and
Where we can see it?
yeah, here
Here,
here
okay.
at the
But other places?
at this moment, not, because the Silent Heat tour was like last year.
Oh
I
yeah.
did like the tour, and the year before. So now it's like this is like a kind of extra presentation of Silent Heat. No, there are like new films coming. They are in post production. Um, yeah. So at this moment, I'm more in the process of making, and the screening I had last year. So it's always like a balance of
You're
doing
taking calm.
doing the tour.
Relax.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm really relaxing. I'm just like really creative, and the film has like different parts. You have the creating part, the preparation, the shooting, and
Yeah.
then you have the post production, and then at some point you do the screening. And
It must be a great work. So much people in how can I say? Sorry for my English is a bit
it's okay.
really poor sometimes. But I think there are so many people involved in this in your projects.
Yeah, depends. For example, Silent Heat, I think worked with 30 people. 30. But my last movie I shot, which is in post production, I only did with 3 people on set because I was producing, writing, directing, and acting. And then with the cinematographer and assistant and sound. And then sound designer, but so it's like only 5 people, I think, in the end. Yeah, 5 people.
Nice.
Maybe, yeah, and collaborating, so then it's like 6. But yeah, like minimal, and editing I do also myself. So sometimes the project is really big, sometimes it's like more small.
It depends of the
Of the energy where it's
I know. Well, so for the last question, I wanna ask you to recommend us your movie from Netherlands or music from Netherlands from your country to the people from our podcast.
Oh wow, I don't know.
Okay, fast.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. It's really stupid.
What you listen to in this moment? What kind of music are you listening to? Vicente Fernandez.
At this moment, I just really like to listen to film music, actually. For example, The Neon Demon, the movie of Nicholas Winding Refn. He had like an amazing soundtrack, and I really like to listen to that because it's like I have seen the movie, but then when you listen to the album, then you really get into this world. And for example, with Silent Heat, I set up a band. And I wrote the lyrics and I was singing.
Oh, fine.
I made like an EP, and from that, I created the film. So
did you work on the score of the film too?
Yeah.
Fine, that's great.
Yeah. So that's something that's like music is a really important part of the way of working. I work a lot with dance and choreography, and the music is almost always there already before the movie. So it's like almost the first thing, like the seed of everything. I think that's why it's also so great to be here in this area with all these musicians.
Yeah, I know.
It's like it really fits, and the work really fits. And besides that, I'm also working on analog film, like 16mm film.
Fine.
Yeah. So so music is a big part of my way of working, and that's why I think I really love The Neon Demon, because it's a beautiful movie and you listen to the album and you're there, and you can even create from this world that he created, you can even create like your own new world and imaginations.
Fine. So there you have, boys. You go and listen now to Neon Demon.
Yeah, The Neon Demon.
The Neon Demon.
Yeah, it's like the soundtrack album, and you can find it on all this
Spotify, I think.
Spotify, yes.
Cool.
And the movie is from Nicholas Winding Refn.
Nicholas Winding Refn. Okay, so I want to thank you really much for this interview, and good long life to movies.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias, muchachos. Pues